So for whatever reason, Turn 10 decided to release this pack in the middle of July, because I don't know. And it includes 7 cars, and I thought today we would go in and review the thing. You've probably already seen my video on the racing truck, but I wanted to talk about all the cars today and give my thoughts on them. So let's go, let's jump into it. Let's start it off with the brand new Jag GT3 XK. This thing is really, really cool. It may not be the fastest thing out there by far, actually. It's actually an R class, which means, at least in Forza, when you're racing online, it goes up against things like an upgraded McLaren P1 and an upgraded Porsche 918. And just because of that, you may never win a race in this thing. And that is completely okay because this car is just insanely cool to drive. It may just look like a standard Jag with some race bits stuck to it and a bit more power. But just drive this thing around, it feels so good to just drive around stock. It makes an incredible noise. And most importantly, it comes in blue. Great car. Let's move it on to something not so car-like, the racing truck. This thing has been super controversial. Some people love it, some people just think they're gonna get it up the bum when they're racing other people online. If you were to ask me personally, this is awesome just because of the what-if factor. This is one of those types of vehicles that you can toss into a Forza game like the Limo, let's say, or the Chrysler's Rocket 69 that just makes you go, what if? Or it presents challenges to you and you can try to go in and drift the truck, or you can go and try to race the truck, or drag race it, or you can challenge yourself to race normal cars in it, which is what I did. And if you're just looking at this thing on the surface and you're like, that is a huge 12,000 pound truck with 1,000 horsepower in it, it's just gonna be a mess to drive, try it. This thing is, well, a racing truck and has incredible amounts of grip and drives really, really well. I had so much trouble drifting it, in fact, I quit the whole thing and decided to go race the thing, and then came third until I crashed and didn't end up so well. But seriously, give this thing a chance, go drive it around. Awesome vehicle for the game. I love things like this. We need more cars like this. Let's move it on to another race car that's getting added. This is the Chevy number 4 2014 Cruze. It goes up very well. It stacks up very well with the Audi S3, which you may remember from our Elgato Racing series. Now, this thing's a bit interesting because it's a really cool front-wheel drive race car, which I actually really, really like. If you remember the Elgato Racing series that we did with the Audi, where we drove them on Brands Hatch in the wet, they're just a completely different type of beast to control. And you can really see where driver skill sort of takes over, and the best one really wins with these types of things. So for that reason, I really like it. However, there were rumors of a Delta Wing coming to Forza. Sadly, it was never put in the game or in this particular pack. But if the Delta Wing was to come and replace this, holy damn, it would be insane. If you have no idea what the Delta Wing is, just Google it. It's very cool. Anyways, let's move it on to something I know a little bit more about. The 2015 McLaren 570S Coupe. Again, this car is great. We actually don't have anything like this in Forza right now. Obviously, we have some other McLarens that are sort of... all the McLarens are really all the same. But this one's sort of like the cheap version of the McLaren, which I guess is sort of ironic when I say that. The thing still costs, I don't even know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars. But this car is great. It looks really awesome, is actually really fast. I was racing up against a McLaren F1 and an old 12C, and it kept up with those guys just fine until this happened. But since this pack is being announced, I have already heard people yelling and saying, why didn't they put the 675 LT in the game? Well, that's a great car as well, but I'm gonna place a bet right now. I bet you that's gonna headline a car pack for Forza Horizon 3. So anyways, the 570 is just an awesome car. Great thing. Seriously, go drive it around. Toss some Aero on this thing and you can have one hell of a race car again. Try it out. Really cool car. Now, I don't really know anything really about this next car. This is a 1980 Fiat Sport Spider. I can tell you, it's red. That's about it. To be honest, this thing just isn't my cup of tea. It doesn't really interest me very much. I would guarantee you it has a very cool backstory, which is why it would be included like this. And I know people already call me, like, unsophisticated for not knowing anything about this, but I'm sorry. I don't know everything about every single car ever made. I know there are people who will love this thing and are very excited about it, so I'm not gonna knock it. But to be honest, it's just not for me, really, and that's okay. If you are a fan of the Sport Spider, it's in the game, and you can enjoy it. Let's move it on to something that, to be honest, just sort of confused me, actually. The 1969 Ford Hawk 3? Mark III? I'm not sure if that's how you call it, but that. This is a strange car, right? Because you look at it, and you're like, that's a race car. That is totally 100% a race car. It's open wheel, it's very low, open cockpit. It's even in our class, in Forza, it just looks like a race car, right? You look at it and go, race car. But for whatever reason, this race car isn't sitting on race tires. Not even sport tires. No, this race car is sitting on street tires, and for that reason alone, it makes it super, super slidey. There isn't much in the way of aerodynamic grip, or so I think, just by looking at the thing. It has a weird front wing that's only on one side of the car for some reason. And then the rear wings, it has 3. They're just crazy. To be quite honest, I think they're flipped on the wrong way. I think they're on upside down because this car is not grippy whatsoever and is just incredibly slidey. But it's kind of cool. If you do put race tires on it and you do, like, tune your wing and stuff, you can make it a lot better. And finally, the little car that started the term bubble car. This is the 1957 BMW Isetta 300 Export. Now you might be saying, well, yes, there is a 3-wheeler in Forza 6. There's not. There's not. It has 4 wheels. The rear wheels are just very close to each other. This is an awesome car, and not for the reason you might expect. Because it's so, well, powerful with all 13 horsepower, I think I might actually be faster than the car. The people at Turn 10 decided, yes, I will give you the brand new lightest car in Forza 6, and then I will also let you toss a 2-rotor into it and bring it up to 600 horsepower. Yeah. Since the rear wheels are so close together, it basically gives you no grip, especially when you leave it rear-wheel drive. The thing is basically undrivable, and it will flip a lot. So yeah, this car is the most useless car in the entire pack, and it flips, and it can't drive, and it's dumb, and I'm absolutely 100% so in love with this thing. This is another car, just like that truck from earlier, that just makes you go, what if? It's seriously great. Try it out. You will have a laugh, and that's just what this thing's all about. It is great. Thank you, Forza, for putting this thing in the game. So, in conclusion, this is a really, really good pack. It features 3 brand new race cars in the Ford, Jag, and the Chevy. It features a race truck, which even the JDM people will try and drift, and that is one hell of a challenge. It features the bubble car for just one hell of a good laugh. The McLaren is great because it's a cool McLaren. And the Super Sport if you're into old classic stuff. Anyways, guys, those are my thoughts on this brand new car pack. Let me know what you guys think of this car pack in the comments down below. What do you like? What do you not like? What would you wish was in it? What are the good and the bad of this pack? Let me know in the comments down below. So, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.